everyone, how you all doing? I'm glad you're back here with me today, back on my art channel. So today I'm painting this Arabian man today, and just generally because I like doing different cultures and different people, and just like doing different things. So very beginning, just sketching stuff. I wasn't too sure at the beginning if I want this to be just completely silent, or I just like talk at the very beginning, introduction, and then letting this all play, because the pictures, I was very proud when I did this, and it looks pretty cool, and the dramatic music, I thought it was way too perfect. Like today when I was looking through the music at the YouTube studio thing when you're doing your own channel and stuff like that, I was going through trying to find like a dramatic music, and I found this one, and then I thought, this is perfect. So yeah, I've been drawing the mustache, the eyes and stuff like that, and there was points where I flipped the canvas back and forth to make sure that everything is like symmetrical. So yeah, there's me flipping it, seeing everything, like giving you a fresh view on things, and seeing if it's leaning the other way or it generally just looks a bit wonky, and constantly fixing stuff. And so obviously I used a bunch of references again as well. I did eventually plan out this concept sketch that I've done, and then I want to apply for this for the final project. I got references basically of men faces, and then inspiration from different artists that I really like, and just me generally doing the work. So yeah, it was a very good painting that I'd done, and I was very proud of it. Anyway, so and obviously I use a lasso tool just to move stuff around. I do faff quite a bit on the sketching process, because when you do the sketching process, it does help for the rest of the way later on in the process. So yeah, now we get into the colouring process of this. I want the face to be in like grayscale, like black and white, while everything else is in colour. Like the clothing is going to be very colourful, goldy, bright, with other tints of colour as well. So the face beginning, I basic grey colour, and then working on average shadows, average halftones basically, and working on the face. So with this one, I basically wanted a very intense expression for him as well. So I looked at other references where there's really intense expression, and the whole theme with this one as well, I want the face to be in grayscale, black and white, and then having a beautiful, warm, rich colours for the cloak that he's wearing, and the background to be like a dark brown colour behind and stuff like that. Whilst the eyes are like browny, orange, amber type of colour, so that way you're already at the face, like the eye has the point, and then you look at the clothing and all that malarkey. So yeah, started painting the mustache with black, and then I was painting the eyes, and then we're going to the part when I start colouring cloth, like average. I basically used a bunch of purples, pinks, in different colours and values for the shading of the cloth and stuff like that. I probably need to practice more for the cloth, but I thought I did an okay job for this. And obviously trying to work my way up with the saturated colours, and then all the way up to the contrast colours, because you don't want to, in what I've learned, they slowly work up their way to that colour and make sure they have variations of colours as well. And I use different types of brushes, which makes an interesting textures to the painting. Sorry. So now we're back to the face again, just doing more shading and stuff. I did work on the face a freaking ton, because I just want the face to look right more than anything, considering this is, you know, a blooming portrait. So yeah, so I'm back and forth with shading and constantly using the blend tools and like just playing around with different brushes, textures, you know, just making it interesting. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I did, and then adding details and drawing the eyes and stuff like that. So yeah, and doing the nose and doing the cheeks. The cheeks took me a bloody long time. But yeah, we'll get through it. It's okay. And just looked at my concept sketch, even though on my other screen on top, there's a concept sketch on top of the screen. Sometimes when I try to scroll down, sometimes I accidentally highlight my, you know, my icons at the bottom. So yeah, anyway, back to this. So I did the face for a little bit, and just constantly shading back and forth, textures, blending, and then went back on the eyes a little bit. The eyes took a little work as well. I probably need to keep practicing more by doing more drawings of the face. And then a jump cut to me doing it because I forgot to record or stuff like that, or I probably went off screen, tried to fix some stuff anyways. The right his left eye is a very short compared to the other, but I'll fix it as time goes on anyway. And I start working on the face a little bit, or there was a bit of thing I forgot, should have cut it out, but it's fine. And then fiddling around with the settings for a little bit, and then colouring in the eyes a bit more, trying to figure out the lighting for this as well. More shading work, just trying to figure out the positions of the eyes and trying to make sure they are correct proportions. And then this is when I do another transparency mask and just making it look like a tint of shadow, basically. And I probably did more on the face because there was more jump cuts, but that's alright. So I did more work to the face. The face is starting to come together a little bit. Blending and trying out the wet brushes in there. It's kind of alright, but I'm not quite used to that tool yet, so I will need to practice more often with that tool and see if I really like it or not, to be honest. So yeah, extreme shading around the face, the chin, the head, because he's kind of leaning over, kind of thing. So you scroll up. And trying to mess around with the transparency masks a little bit, just to paint more shadows and stuff, and just constantly trying to work on it. And then painting in on the eyebrows and the facial areas. And just working constantly on the eyes for the shadows and stuff. It looks a little bit weird, but like it will get better, I promise. And then just constantly. Yeah, so pretty much that's the progress so far. So yeah, I'm getting a little more confident and comfortable with this, the whole YouTube thing. I'm actually having a lot of fun so far, so yeah, I'm trying to get more comfortable with the whole YouTube thing, making sure stuff gets done, and and making sure I leave stuff when it's exporting and not trying to do a bunch of things because my computer will just slow down. And this is another transparency mask thing I did just because I wanted more dramatic shadow. And so basically, like I said, I did do this thing, the transparency mask. I can't talk. And just try to add this dramatic shadow. Anyway, back to the cloth where I painting in very dark shadows for the cloth, and just figuring out the shadows for the cloth and making sure it looks kind of realistic enough. I did work on the cloth a little bit as well because I was trying to make the shadows right. I did some references of how Arabian people wear their cloth on their heads and stuff like that, and how it's folded, basically. Yeah, I did a bunch of oranges, a bunch of purples, like keeping to the rich colour scheme for the clothes. And just adding a bunch of details and highlights to the cloth with yellows and purples. Just putting myself over again, and this is the part when I actually work in the background, so I kind of want like an earthy, just overall try to make it dramatic or something. I don't know what word to describe for the background with the painting, but it's okay. So yeah, just wanted a very expressive background, and played around with some like texture blending tools. There's one that acts like a rake or sort of, and then a jump cut to when I was working the eyes. The whole painting started to come together now, which is really good. So I did the eyes, and I want this to be amber colour, so your focal point is mainly the face, the eye and all that. And then another jump cut to where I activated the transformation back on, and then I went to another layer on top. Oh, I suck. I did more things to the eyes, and then just painting in the clothing and stuff like that. I added basically a bunch of colours of reds, and then very dark red, desaturated reds, and then just constantly working on the gosh darn cloth. And then blending some parts to make sure I get the colours that I wanted, and just making sure that it looks like an actual cloth, clothing on him. Oh, I'm such a nightmare. Like I said, if you stick around and I'll be very impressed. Anyway, like, I hope I'm not. Well, I know I'm very awkward to a degree, and I wonder how you feel. Like, leave it down in a comment. What's your experience when you watch my videos? I'm quite curious. So anyway, back to the video. It's starting to look really, really good. Like I said, probably a bunch of times I was very proud when I did this one. And then it's saturated colours now, and probably lighter as well. Had a bit of highlights and stuff like that. And I started working on the background again, just trying to see what I like and stuff like that. Like, I left the background to be lighter, and then maybe it goes darker there. And this is the part when I added like purpley blues, just for the sake of having more colours. But it's starting to get good, so it's, yeah. I'm constantly working on the thing. Adding very dark variations of different colours. And adding the layers helps it out as well, like very beginning to soft, and then you start working on like harder edges on top. This is the part when I went back for highlights and mid-tones, probably. I kind of want like the sun beaming on him or something, but it probably didn't make sense with the whole lighting, really. But that's alright. So yeah, it's just constantly doing the same thing over again, and just doing this and that. You know what? I might as well oh, never mind. I added a bit of blues to this, and this is the part when I started trying dark greens and blues, and then adding more textures there. It's starting to look really good. I'm so happy with this piece. I'm very happy how it came out actually. And I zoom in and try and give more lighting in the eyes, and obviously, and then try to add details and make sure the eyes and the colours are very amped up, sort of thing. I'm probably gonna stay quiet till like near the end, so enjoy this for a sec, and I'll see you in a bit. Again, so we're near the end of this video. So yeah, it looks pretty done. This is the part when I cropped it all together. I did a bunch of details and adding shadows to that. And this is done, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time, and stay creative. Okay, goodbye!